is still going crazy for comic book movies, and one of the Avengers' key players is of course the brilliant Thor. The original phase of Disney Marvel movies just would not have held up if it wasn't for the amazing Thor movie. Now, Chris Hemsworth Thor might be a key player now, but in fact he was a little bit of a latecomer to the video game world, and in 1995 he was part of the roster in the arcade hit Avengers in Galactic Storm. However, as we're here to look at the first ever game to be solely based on Thor, we need to get a little bit more modern and go to 2011 with the video game tie-in of the first movie. So in true Slopes gaming fashion, and to help build up my personal hype for the release of Civil War, I, DJ Slope, will be looking at the very first game featuring Thor. Video games assemble!
It is a weapon without equal. Now be the first to experience the power of the exclusive world premiere video game trailer of Thor, God of Thunder. Live at the 2010 Video Game Awards, Saturday, December 11th, on Spike.
Big-headed son of Odin. This is the first time we ever got to see this game as it was shown at the 2010 Spike Video Game Awards. Well, the PS3 and 360 versions, that is. Remember the good old days when the same game was released on Microsoft's, PlayStation's and sometimes PC, although not in this instance, and back then Nintendo's consoles reigned supreme as well, and although we could never get that big budget game ported over to the underpowered white box, 9 out of 10 times they actually got another studio to make games for that system on top of the 360 and PS3 versions. And, even better, yet another studio to make a game for the Nintendo DS. So that's 3 games by 3 different studios, 1 crappy, 1 good, 1 excellent. All being released on the same day, I, DJ Slope, have no choice but to review them all. Firstly, let's look at the one that everyone normally goes to. Thor, God of Thunder for the 360 and PS3. Although some may say it looks the best, it's far from it. So the story is set before the original movie, and thankfully the original voice actors are back. The game looks, I'd say about 7 out of 10 for the time. It's not that bad at all really, and if you played it on the PlayStation 3, you could actually play it in 3D. And I'm running out of good things to say about this one, because well, the game sucks. Now I like games like Batman, Hulk, Spider-Man, etc. Most of the time you can look past a few, I would do it differently moments if the game actually held up well enough, mainly because it's got an awesome license plastered all over it. However, no matter how hard you look, this game sucks. It just sucks. The collision, the hit control, the controls, the overall feel, it just sucks. Whenever you hit a button, it just feels departed to actually what is happening on the screen due to an ever so slight, although very noticeable wait time. When you hit enemies, sometimes it doesn't register, and other times you obviously miss, yet the game takes away its health. It's hard to see the good game hidden here. It would be nice to say that given just a few more months we could have actually seen something groundbreaking, but I can't. Thor God of Thunder is everything that is wrong with Sega since they left the console game. A boring, rushed and broken mess. I think it's safe to say you want to stay away from this one. Moving on to the Wii version, which is also not brilliant, but honestly it's a damn sight better than that one found on the 360 and PS3. So firstly, obviously the graphics aren't actually, if you ask me, they actually look a little bit better. Sure, they're not in HD, but they're not trying to go for that movie style that the PS3 and 360 versions were going for. And because of that, I don't think it's aged as badly. It's a mix between the comics and the movie, resulting in a far more long-lasting feel and appeal. The controls are pretty much there. Sure, you got the obvious typical Wii remote controls here. Swing it around to develop wrist arthritis to pull some off, but it actually works. If I use something like Super Mario Galaxy as an example, you get the idea of motion controls in the platforming / beat 'em up games in this instance working. And the game, obviously not as good as that one, is still quite fun. Plus, it actually chains all of your moves together, so you the player can mess about and experiment with the best possible outcome, desperately trying not to break the chain as you see your attacks increasing in power. This is all good, right? Well, it's these pretty decent mechanics put inside a world of walking for a little bit and beating up some enemies. Walking for a little bit and beating up some enemies. Walking for a little bit and beating up some enemies. You get the idea. It's very repetitive. Plus the pretty solid combo system, which works pretty damn well, is pointless because you can just kill everyone by spamming the A button over and over and over. It's safe to say that this game is a lot better than its older brother, and there is moments of actual fun to be had whilst playing this. Sure, there are better similar games out there, but as we have discussed, there are quite a few cruddy ones too. You can do a lot worse than playing a movie tie-in game than playing this one. And quickly before moving on, we have the 3DS game, which actually came out a few months later. It's just a quick passing note on this one, as we're actually here technically talking about Thor's first ever game. And unlike these games that all coincided with the film's release in the theatres, this game coincided with the home release. It's basically just a Wii version again, albeit with far crappier controls. They just didn't seem to port over very well with buttons. Plus you got bloody annoying touchscreen parts of the game added in for extra 3DS flair. Overall it tarnishes what's a pretty alright game on the Wii. So let's move on, shall we? Now that I'm older and wiser with my gaming choices, I tend to stay away from pre-orders of games, because you never know how a game's going to turn out. But with that said, this way of thinking completely is thrown out the window with a certain few company logos appearing on the front cover. And WayForward are one of those few. If a game has this logo on it, you're in for a great time. This is how you do a movie tie-in. I'm not just looking at this with my retro goggles on and giving it a thumbs up all round due to it being a 2D platforming beat 'em up game, not at all. This game not only plays well and looks great, it does the character and film justice. Stringing together multiple attacks, destroying ledges with your mighty Thor hammer, and even using his flight ability to pull you up to higher ledges, eventually makes you feel like the God of Thunder whilst playing. Oh, and did I mention the bosses? A big hell yes goes out to those too. Very pleasing to the eye, and the overall feel of the game as a whole. Just like all free games, sure, it can get a little bit repetitive at times, and unfortunately the voice actors do not return for this version, leaving you with the sudden breaks of dialogue. Now these may put off some people, however, get past it. It's well worth it. If this sort of game is your thing, you're going to have a lot of fun with this game. In fact, not to ruin anything here, but Thor God of Thunder on the DS is the very best game on this entire list. Video games, assemble! Hey guys, thanks for checking out my video on Thor's first video game. I'm just here to tell you that this video is actually the third video in a 6-part series, covering not only the first ever Thor game, but also the first Captain America, the first Hulk, Iron Man, Spider-Man, and finally the Avengers, leading up to the release of what is probably my most anticipated film of the year, Captain America Civil War. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any. If you want to help the show, check out my Patreon to see my videos early and see some exclusive content. Follow me on social media by searching for Slope's Game Room. And that's it. This is DJ Slope signing out, and hopefully I'll see you all next time.